Morning, everybody. Today we wanted to talk about our predicting loan and default risk project that we worked on for Cox 108. It was our final project for our professor Jason Fletcher, made by me and my teammates. So the main idea of this project is how can lenders predict which borrowers will repay their loans and which one don't? So every loan approval is essentially a risk prediction, a gamble with the one who's loaning the money, which led to the research question being developed of which borrower financial characteristics would help us best predict whether a loan would have a greater risk of defaulting, aka not being paid off. So to do this, we wanted to look at the background characteristics that increase the risk of loan being defaulted, which in most cases was credit score and past credit history. But in the modern age, there are a lot more other financial strains which we decided to research, which are all the factors listed below in the hypothesis.
Okay, so for our data set, we used the credit risk data set from Kaggle, and our target variable was the loan status, which 0 means it's repaid and 1 means default. And these are the key variables we analyzed. And after looking at the data set, there was a 21.7 default rate. So that's around 1 in 5 loans. So for the data wrangling, we took the following steps. So first, we standardized the categorical text, and then we checked for missing values, and then we found unrealistic values. So like if the age was over 100 or employment length was too long, like over 60, we removed those, and then we imputed those missing values using the following, and then we got our final data set, which was ready for EDA.
So for the EDA, these are four select plots that we have, which show high factors in loan default. One is debt burden, which is our strongest predictor. Then we looked at prior default history, which showed a clear trend of those who having history have 2 times a higher risk of default. Income is an also important factor. Those with higher income are more stable. And loan purpose risk shows different areas of why people took out the loan. To include all of the variables, we have a heat map, and what this heat map reveals about the loan default rate is that it is primarily driven by financial pressure rather than demographic factors. Again, things like the debt burden is the strongest signal, and financial stability, those are variables like higher income and homeowners, they all lower the risk, which gave us some ground to build our models.
Here we compare our two models, the logistic regression and random forest. The logistic regression helps us understand which factors influence default risk and in what direction. We see that higher loan to income ratio prior defaults and lower income increases the likelihood of default, while longer employment reduces it. On the other hand, the random forest captures more complex, non-linear relationships between variables. It achieves higher predictive accuracy and highlights similar key features like loan to income ratio and income as the most important drivers. Overall, regression helps with interpretation while random forest improves prediction, and together they give a more complex understanding of loan default risk.
Ethics and responsible use, which are dataset anonymized, educational use only, and bias awareness. Note these models should support lending decision, but final judgment should always involve human oversight. In conclusion, debt burden is the strongest predictor of loan default. Past credit behavior predict future outcome. Financial stability reduce default probability. Both these models confirm these patterns. For the next step, although our models reveal strong predictor, loan default remain difficult to predict with perfect accuracy. Future work should incorporate additional economic indicator and behavioral data to improve prediction.